Toronto FC hiring Chris Armas to be their new head coach. Armas was previously the head coach for the New York Red Bulls before parting ways in September. He led the Red Bulls.
I think that he's a terrific leader.
And a presence that a club needs, and we'll see whether he can coach and all that will come. But I do think that a coach of Toronto FC in this market, and it is a big market, needs that presence.
You meet him and you see how excited and the energy that he brings, and then also you see his view of football, the view of how he wants us to play. It's exciting. This is going to add a different dynamic to our team and make us stronger.
I'm excited about this team, excited about this season. It's been a very difficult offseason, but I'm looking forward to doing everything that we can to try to achieve everything that we want.
All right, it's Christmas morning here, back on the pitch.
Christmas morning.
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations throughout the year about Greg coming back, and those conversations were kind of choppy just because of COVID. There was back and forth throughout the entire year. You never really have the real time and space, to kind of sit down and pause and have that conversation, so to speak, and just finalize that.
The most arduous of seasons in Toronto FC's history comes to an end.
I think the end of the season ended abruptly for us. When it ended, we had to make some decisions, conversations with players, and then also conversation with Greg. And so kind of really during those player meetings, I got a sense, just you read people and you get a sense of what's going on, that, that Greg was going to leave.
At that time when Greg came in, the club needed stability. They were looking for stability. We've moved forward now. He has moved forward as life is and as sports and as everything does. It's a new era.
We had to pivot. I was nervous, a little stressed out. You want to make the right decision. You want to follow the right process. I would say this is the most challenging, difficult offseason that I've ever experienced. Last season, 2020, was challenging in a lot of ways, physically and emotionally, intellectually. Towards the end of the year where you're like, okay, I want to catch my breath. We don't have that luxury. We didn't have that opportunity. And so it was important to get to work right away and to think about a process and to execute in the best way possible.
6 weeks after Greg Vanney announced his departure as the longtime head coach of Toronto FC, we now know his replacement will be Chris Armas.
What I'm hearing from people across the league is that he's a good person, a terrific leader, a player and a manager that really galvanized a lot of people in the past when they worked underneath him.
It was a busy month of December for me, but I'm excited because Chris is excellent.
Yes, come on, make them run! Make them run! Yes! Yes! 1, 2, come on, guys, in the middle. Take the last step. Punch mode. Yeah, I think that I thought at one point in my life I would play forever.
Mata Guevara got back and cleared it nicely, but now trouble controlling, and the Fire scores as Chris Armas cleans it up and scores.
I would say that in my last few years, probably the last 5 years or so, when you're in a leadership position on the team, more of a voice, take on a captain armband, that you start to see that maybe one day I'll be a coach. And along the way, I think I was inspired to play the game from certain coaches. I admired them. And I was always thinking, in the back of my mind, maybe one day I'll be like them, a coach that can lead and maybe coach a successful team. So I think this in little ways with some of the mentors and some of the, what we was little planting seeds along the way. There's a lot of things about coaching that I like and that I'm falling in love with as I go on. Because what I've said to people is, the more that I'm coaching, the more that I'm implementing and learning and thinking about so many different facets of the game. So yeah, I'm learning a lot. The more that I coach and learn, the more you realize how much you don't know, because you see how much more is out there. So the tactics and the game planning and the philosophy of coaching and the nuances is really interesting to me. Good sprinting, going. The other part that I really love is the people, the coaching, taking an individual and understanding the individual and capturing his heart. And now the scene is set.
We created a culture here, an environment that you can talk about things. And yeah, maybe the coaches it's not the perfect clip, or maybe say, come on guys, it can be better. But guys, the best part about it, and even after the show, we talked a little bit as well, just, yeah guys, how about this, how about that? Excellent, like for me, well done.
And that's my job, to really ultimately take the players to where they can't go on their own. So in so many ways, the individual, soccer, the togetherness, the all-for-one approach. It's really, I speak that language.
For people in general, players, coaches, staff, whatever it is, there's always these, what I would say is as three characteristics that you don't compromise on, and teamwork, hard work, and integrity. Those characteristics, I think, have to resonate, especially with your head coach. So in that sense, it's clear. At the same time, having someone that knows the league, knows the Canadian teams in MLS, all those types of things, I think, are probably more important in a year where COVID still exists. In terms of style of play and things like that and what the team needs, I felt that, we could pivot a little bit and change where the team could take on a bit of a different tempo and a rhythm in terms of the way in which it plays and the tactics. And so in that sense, I think Chris is an excellent fit.
Fast doesn't mean you have to always pass the ball fast. It's not always about craziness. Just get this balance right.
As I was going through another interview process, I got offered the job to go elsewhere. And I'm in the final stages of that process, and TFC reached out. When I thought about it, it was just, I thought about a place where the standards were high, that there was a culture of winning, that the people that I knew on the inside were, some big personalities, Michael, Josie, this excited me. To get the opportunity to work with players like those guys and others on the roster and Pozuelo, the whole bit. But I knew it was an opportunity that I felt fortunate to be considered for, and that I would throw everything at the opportunity, and I did.
Listen, I and the staff and myself here, we've thought about, the leadership, the coaching staff, as Javi says, the extension. I'm going to be leaning on some of you guys, for sure. I know some of you guys. I've already talked to some of you guys about having a bigger voice around here.
When I see the way guys it'd be almost unfair to start naming names, but I will name a few. When I see a guy like Michael, the way he shows up and how much he cares for the club, and how he tries to use his voice, and he's thinking for the team all the time, which is really, it's uncommon. I haven't worked with a player like Michael before. Yeah. And then you talk about a Josie, the will to win, score goals, to move on a back line, hold up play. There's not a lot of things I've seen that he cannot do as a footballer. We understand that there's leaders around here. Both of those guys are, in different ways. And then, the Pozuelos, the intelligence and elegance of a player like that can see a lot of things at once and to calm the game down and facilitate. What a joy to watch. And the one other guy that has been exciting, Osorio is just such an interesting piece up the field. What a special person, what a top player. And then the young guys, they're all interesting to me. They're all good. The question will be, can we help them along? Can we help in their process? We have a nice balance there, and then the middle range tier, the Larreas, the De Leons, some of these guys, Markey, all doing great.
The past era didn't end sour. It ended when I think it should have ended. It's easier to carry that energy, and that energy is normal at the beginning. It's natural, but then Chris adds a different level of energy. Energy that everybody wants and everybody strives for when they come in every day in the morning.
It doesn't get better than this. Seriously. Right, we're starting that new little chapter. We turn the page, here we are. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, it's go time.
You're getting used to different, methods of training, and we're training in a different way to match the way we want to play, and so your bodies are getting used to it, and you're feeling really good. You're feeling different. You're stronger in a different way. So you're adapting. Like I said, when you adapt and you learn to adapt as a player, even as a person in life, you can kind of relate that to is when you learn to adapt to different things, it just makes you better.
I'm excited about this team, excited about this season. It's been a very difficult offseason, but I think we move from strength to strength with Chris and the coaching staff. We have a very good team with very, very good football players.
So Steve, there we go. Yeah, good. Let's go, guys.
We have a team that the standards are high and winning is the expectation. Internally, externally, that's the objective.
Chris and the staff are a shot in the arm, and in a really, really good way. We have the ability to achieve our goals, and that's exciting. Going into a year where you got a shot, you got a real opportunity, a real chance is exciting. And this is going to be a big year for TFC, and I'm looking forward to doing everything that we can to try to achieve everything that we want.
The locker room is so good and so tight. Plus we're so committed to winning, and we have a coaching staff that's so excited to come here and win, and they know the expectations. They're aware of the expectations that come with being, a part of this club.
Sometimes change is not so easy. A new coach comes in, hey, we love what was going on, what's going on here? It's now to come with an urgency, me to come with an urgency and a vision that gets them excited, and I think we're there.
Guys, for me, you've earned that. Lots of guys that say, feel good about that, fair enough. Enjoy the rest of the day. Tomorrow, let's get back and that's that. Anything, Mike, from you on the day? Good? No, keep moving forward. Good? Good, guys. Good. Before we get out of here. Yeah, exactly.